Welcoming guys to my NFL Week 16 recap. We're starting off with a Thursday night game. It was the Jags versus the Jets. The Jags are in the playoff position. Same with the Jets. The Jags got the win. It was 18 to 3. The Jags, that was their second road win. Second back-to-back road win since 2017. Trevor Lawrence had 20 out of 31 throws, 229 yards. Ingram had 7 reps and 113 throws, and the Jags were 7-8. Going to the early Christmas Eve games on a Saturday. I don't know why I said that. Early Christmas Eve games. Seattle versus the Chiefs. Chiefs get the win 10-24. Geno Smith had 25 out of 40 throws, 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Mahomes had 16 out of 28 throws, 224 yards, 2 touchdowns. And again, the Chiefs have been great this year, and the season rolls on. And we have the Falcons versus the Ravens. The Ravens, after this game, were 4-0 in Christmas Eve games. It's also good. That was a stat. Again, going into after the game, the Ravens are now second in the AFC North. Ridder started again for the Falcons, which is good. He needs more experience in the NFL. Okay, he's going to be. There's a lot of upside in Desmond Ridder, but he needs to start more games. You should have been starting him at week 1 and see what you have. You started him last week at week 15, but I'm hoping next year he can kick on and he can actually start all 18 games next year. But Desmond Ridder, 22 out of 33 throws, 218 yards. Edwards had 11 carries and 99 yards, and the Ravens win 9-17. Then we had the Giants versus the Vikings. This was a really fun, exciting game. You had Danny Dimes, he had 30 out of 42 throws, 334 yards, 1 touchdown. Barkley had 14 carries and 84 yards, 1 touchdown. Then we had the Bills versus Bears. Football! That's right, Bears. But I want to say the Bears started off really good. Pettis and Fields, that throw from Fields to Pettis in the first quarter was really good. It was 0-7 then, but obviously it was 6-7. Second half, the Bills got their shit together and it was 35-13. Again, this was a good win for the Bills because, you look at some of these games in previous seasons, they would have maybe lost that game, especially against like a bad scrub team like the Bears or whoever. And I like the mindset of they're not taking their eye off the ball. They're like, we got to win every single fucking game and get that mindset. Because again, you've got yourself a playoff place. Again, it doesn't really matter, but you don't want to be losing these games against these scrub-ass teams. It kind of derails your momentum, and in previous years that would have happened. But again, the Bills, they got the job done, 35-13. Josh Allen had 15 out of 26 throws, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. Fields had 15 out of 23 throws, 199 yards. Singletary had 12 carries and 166 yards and 1 touchdown. Then we had the Lions versus the Panthers. I want to give a great credit to Steve Wilks, what he's been doing with this Panthers team since he's taken the interim charge, and I think that in the offseason they need to make Steve Wilks the permanent head coach of the Panthers, because what he's done, they're now 6-9 now. They're in contention to win the AFC South, and credit to Steve Wilks what he's done. The Panthers won 20-34. Then we had the Bengals versus the Patriots. The Bengals win 22-18. The Bengals get the first win at Foxborough for the first time since 1986. So finally, for the Bengals fans, a long way for a road win in New England, and they did it. Joe Burrow had 40 out of 52 throws, 375 yards, 3 touchdowns. Great game for Joe Burrow on Saturday. Mac Jones had 21 out of 33 throws, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mixon has 16 carries and 65 yards. Stevenson has 13 carries and 30 yards. 30 yards in that game. Then we had the Texans versus the Titans. The Texans get the second win of the year, 19-14. Again, Titans are looking, they're going to get that number one spot, and get yourself a quarterback, because Davis Mills isn't the quarterback. It isn't the dude for, again, get that, or you can get yourself Geno Smith. But a good win for Lovie Smith, and good for him. Again, I know he's not going to be like the long-term fix for the Texans, but I'm glad that he's in the NFL. Then we had the Giants versus the Browns. No, not Giants. The Saints versus the Browns, 17-10. Dalton Castle had Andy Dalton. Apologies, guys. I'll think about the wrestling. Andy Dalton had 8 out of 15 throws, 92 yards, 1 interception. Deshaun Watson had 15 out of 31 throws, 135 yards, 1 interception. Kamara had 20 carries and 76 yards, 1 touchdown. Then we had the Commanders versus the 49ers. The 49ers got the job done, 20-33, and you had Heineke had 13 out of 18 throws, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brian Robinson had 22 carries and 58 yards. Then we had the Eagles versus the Cowboys in a division game. The Cowboys defeated the Eagles in their second loss of the year, 34-40, and the Cowboys get their job done. And then we had the Broncos versus the Rams on Christmas. This was it Christmas Day? Yeah, this was on Christmas Day. 14-51, an absolute blowout for the Rams. Baker Mayfield got the job done, and he got Nathaniel Hackett fired. And I'll talk about that in another video separate, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. But ultimately, this was Nathaniel Hackett's last game, and you could see the writing on the wall. And I'll talk a little more about that later on in the week. But yeah, the Rams get the win. Then we had the Bucks versus the Cardinals. The Bucks again. This is 2 scrub teams again this year. The Bucks, Tom Brady. I've said before, if you're gonna have people like Tom Brady, you need to have a supporting cast around him. Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury, you're a lucky man, because Nathaniel Hackett got fired this week, on Monday. Again, I won't be surprised if you actually last to week 18, because your ass should have been fired weeks ago. But Brady had 32 out of 48 throws and 281 yards, 1 touchdown. Fournette, 20 carries, 72 yards. James Conner, 15 carries and 79 yards, 1 touchdown. Then we had the Chargers versus the Colts on Monday night. The Chargers get the job done, 3-20, and the Chargers are in the playoffs for the first time since 2018. And that is my NFL recap for Week 16. Leave you guys thoughts on the Week 16 NFL in the comments, and peace.